Hello. I'll be guiding us on how to build up rate for reinforcement in the bill of quantities. And the basic ingredients that you need to build up this rate is the cost of the reinforcement itself in the market, the cost of banding wire, as you can see, uh, the cost of reinforcement per kg in the market is 972 per kg, while the banding wire per kg is 2,500, while the the labor is per 125 naira per kg. And other things that you needed to consider for your rate to be complete, which falls within preliminary items, are the engineer that is going to supervise the job, that is indirect staffs, the engineers, the general foremen, the supervisors, your bending machine, your cutting machine, your stirrup bending machine, the generator, of course, the crane, if it is a high-rise building, say above 3 floors, you are not expecting uh, you should manually drag the reinforcement to the floor. That would be waste of time and dangerous for the staff themselves. While lifting it up, you have so that is why you needed to provide a crane of whichever type. It could be the mobile crane, it could be a tower crane, depending on what you have budgeted in your indirect cost. Then, of course, the hand gloves, the eye goggles to prevent during cutting of reinforcement, maybe by when using the cutting machine, cut some steels on site. And of course, if it is a site where you have there is safety consciousness, and it has to be 0% accident free, you have to provide coverall, helmet. So these are dealt with under preliminaries. And if you'll be following my videos, you know I have dealt with these items on different videos. And if this is your first time of watching my video, you can visit my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/quantity surveying made easy underscore 2014. You see where I dealt extensively with personnels. I dealt extensively with equipment, tools and equipment, which the bending machine, cutting machine, stirrup, generator, crane falls within. Then safety, where I dealt with collective and individual safeties. That is where you have the hand gloves, eye goggles, coveralls, helmets, and you name it. Then safety boot. So, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to be dealing with the direct costs. That is the direct cost, which is the labor and the materials. So as you can see, how did I arrive at the cost of uh, my reinforcement? I have something I have done by the side here. I went to the market and I got the prices of, since the common reinforcement that is often used, uh, only on rare occasions you see the 32 bar and the 40 bars. So we're dealing with the most used in the market and the ones you can find available in the market. But there is no you can always add to say, if you have your the contract you're pricing, or the project you are pricing. If it has 32, it has 40, yours, what you needed to do is to include 32 and 40. Then you average the price so that you can get an average cost per kg. you know why I'm doing so. I cannot just go pick the 8 bars and use the rates to price, because their weight per kg varies. As you can see, this is the weight for one length of 8 dia bar, while this is the weight of 10 dia bar. As you can see, the price per kg for 8 dia bar is 940.37, while that of 10 is 879.3. These are prices as at today. So, and then you see the 12 is 844, but you can imagine if I had gone to use 12 to just pick 12 and got the cost per kg, and I have 8 dia in the proposed project, I might be on the pricing. Then if I have 16 dia, see it's see per kg is 1,045, y 20 is 1,060 and 64, y 25 is 1,048. So what I did is to sum this and divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see I have, so I divided it by 6 here. So I got an average of 972, which is what I brought here as my average cost for reinforcement. Then the cost for banding wire is 2,500. So I just came here and I have my cost as 972 per ton, because I had to, since I'm pricing in ton, I have to multiply by 1,000 to convert my cost per kg to ton. Then I got 972,000 per ton. Then the waste, oftentimes where you have more waste is when you have bigger members of bars, because the off-cuts are basically sometimes useless on site because you cannot use them. If you have a well-structured workshop where all the off-cuts are kept according to their sizes, we know we have what we term as useful off-cuts. There are off-cuts that can be useful. Anything above a 1.5, a 1.5, a 1.8, a 1 meter can be useful for lintels, for smaller openings, bridging of smaller openings on site. So you keep them for them to be used in those locations, and for stirrups as well. So this again falls within, over time you have cost data, you kept your records on projects, the feedback from the site that shows that your average wastage for all categories of reinforcement falls within 5 to 8. Sometimes, if not properly checked, it can go as high as 10%. So, but for the purpose of this, we're applying 8% as our waste. So 8% plus this 8% of this gives me this. So you can see the formula saying I should, this plus 8% of it gives me 1,000 1,049,000. Then the banding wire, the average kg of banding wire to tight a 1 ton of reinforcement falls between, say, 10 kg to 15. If you're very prudent, you can say 13 kg. But for you to be safe and for you to cover all loopholes, because either your staffs are not that prudent, or you're not there to check them, so you have to take the highest point, which is 15 kg, and 15 kg per ton. So 15 kg multiplied by 2,500, which is the cost per kg, gives you 39 and you have a 5% waste to it, gives you this amount. So this is the cost of your reinforcement, which is 1,000,000 and 1,089,000, 89,000. Then you have your cost of your labor, which is per kg is 125. Then you convert to ton is 125,000. Then you sum this together, you have your cost per ton as 1,214,000. This is the direct cost, excluding your profits and overhead. So if you want to put your profit and overhead, as usual, you have overhead. You have overheads. Let's say we're doing it 25%, 25% overhead. You have a 25% as a 0.25. And then your profit is profits say 8% is 25%. So you just multiply by 5, then 8%. Sorry, 8% of this gives you this. So you sum up. You sum up. Sorry, there's things I hid here that I need to. So have you have your cost as a 1.6, a 1,614,820 naira 0.84 kg per kg per ton. So, but mind you, I said this has to be dealt as preliminary cost in addition to this. So this, what you needed to do is to get the cost of these persons divided by the total weight you have on the project. It will give you the cost per. If it is just reinforcement you are asked to come and do, so you are building up the the items for reinforcement alone divided by the total reinforcement you're going to do, then you can now apply it into this as the cost of the indirect this to this cost. Say maybe you have after pricing this, you have say a 20 million, and you now have say a 1,000 kg. Let's say you have a 20 million, you have a 20 million. You have a 20 million. You have a 20 million for all of this after due diligence, after pricing it properly. You have a 20 million, and say a total reinforcement you want to execute on this project is say a 10, a 500 ton. So you divide this by this, it gives you 40,000 per ton. Then you mark it up with the overhead and everything. You add it to this, it gives you what the price could be. So let's say I am taking, before I marked up, had done this, and I had brought it down here, which is the cost of my equipment. That is a prelims. My prelims is this. So I sum these two. Then when I sum those two, I now pick this price now. I now pick this price now. So my cost will now be 2 million. No, my cost now will be 1,666,000 per ton, because I have considered prelims. And mind you, what I did here is just an assumption. So I am not saying it's 20 million, because I told us that all of these items can be priced, and I dealt with it extensively. So for you to understand this, visit my page, go through all of the videos that relate to all of this. You will now determine it. I only just said for you to get a comprehensive cost, a complete cost for this item. We assume that a 20 million is what we could gather from the cost of this for the duration of the project, for the duration of this 500 kg. Say the 500 kg is going to take us, 500 ton is going to take us, say, 6 months to do, and we have cost all of this thing for the period of 6 months, and it came to a 20 tons, a 20 million, and we divided it by 500 ton, which is what is in the bill that we are going to execute. We now have 40,000 per ton. I added it to the cost, the direct cost of material and labor, and I arrived at 1,254,000. Then I added my overhead, I added my profit, and I came to this amount. So this I can apply directly, meaning that my rate is now all in rates, including preliminaries. So if this video has improved your knowledge on how to a price reinforcement, please do share, subscribe to my page, and like as well. Make comment where necessary, ask questions. I take my time to respond to your questions. Thank you.